Welcome to bow warm-up sequence with Mr. Elliott. I'm going to be using this bow as my example, and so here we go. First thing you should do is take the bow out, tighten the bow hair to an appropriate amount, possibly rosin it if you're going to be playing next, then get your bow hold. First exercise is using only your fingertips. Creep up the bow, right? Showing this from like multiple angles as I do it. Right, creeping up the bow, about a foot, right? Then, very slowly, creep back down the bow, right, until you get back to your original bow hold, right? We do races of this stuff in class, so on and so forth. There it is. I'm going to show you now just using a dowel, right? And so what's going on there is I'm doing this to go up, right, kind of using my thumb as a ratchet, and then coming back down, same deal, using all my fingers, back to my original bow hold on the bow. Great. Bow sequence. Once you have your proper bow hold, and now I have a violin bow, there's my violin bow hold. Exercise number 1 is creeping up and down. Exercise number 2, hold the bow directly out in front of you, perpendicular, and holding it in place, you're going to raise and lower the tip of the bow by rotating your pinky and first finger around your thumb. I'll get closer so you can see how that works. Right? So, 2 ways to do this. One is using just the fingers, right? So here's just my fingers. Then add wrist. Then add entire forearm, and we can go like that. All the joints work together. So that's number 1. Number 2, lower the bow to the ground so that it is parallel with the floor. And now raise and lower the tip of the bow using just your first finger. I'll come and get close and so you can see that. And so I'm lifting and lowering with my first finger. Right? So that's number 2. Number 3, bow hair up. Still maintaining the proper bow hold. Right, here's my bow hold. Bow hair up, rotate, and try and keep the tip totally still. Like so. Next one. Holding the bow perpendicularly in front of your face, try to keep the bow tip in one place while you move your hand up and down, which is fairly difficult to do. You can kind of practice with your hand on the bow tip like this, but then you want to take your hand away and focus your eyes on the tip of the bow and try to raise and lower your arm, keeping the bow tip in the same place in space. Then, number 3, try to keep the middle of the bow still while moving your hand and the tip of the bow up and down. If I place my finger here, this is what we want, with a pivot point in the center. And so now you try and do that without having your finger there. So I'm trying to keep the middle centered. And you can do this in front of a mirror. Right now I'm looking at myself in the camera and I'm trying to keep the middle of the bow right on my tie, which is difficult. And so there are our basic warm-ups for the bow. That is stuff that you should do pretty much every day when you take the instrument out before you start to play.